Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another video. Game development is really hard, isn't it? Whether it be from a team of developers or one person, making a game is a pain to do. And that's coming from experience, and the game I made is merely a simple visual novel, and it still took a month. By the way, you should totally check that game in the description and donate at least $1. And sometimes, some of the contents that were planned in development ended up getting unused in the final product. You know what game especially has this? That's right, the Impossible game. So in today's video, we're gonna look at various things that ended up getting unused in Geometry Dash. Taking a page from my last video about lost media in GD, there's at least two official levels that we know that ended up getting unused. Those two being OTA Destruction and Active. I've already talked about OTA Destruction in the last video, but to put it briefly, OTA Destruction, yes I know it's a typo but I'm gonna call it that, was the very first level that's ever been revealed to everyone, being the level shown in GD's very first trailer. However, this level never ended up being fully made as it was merely just a beta test level and Lawlbit didn't get approval from the song creator of the level, TMM43. But parts of OTA Destruction has been used in the official level Base After Base, which did release. I didn't talk much about Active in the last video, so let's cover it now. Active is actually pretty interesting. There's never been any footage or even any resemblance of gameplay, but hidden away in the folders in the 1.4 update, there is evidence that Active was supposed to be one of the new levels in the game. There wasn't any level data or any song file, but we know that the song Active by DJ VI was gonna be used. What was also found was some pulsing data for the song. If you didn't know, Lawlbit makes specific pulsing data for the official songs, unlike songs that's used for either Newgrounds or the song library. Here's an example of it using electrodynamics from the official song list and the Newgrounds version. So yeah, deep within the 1.4 folders, there were suggestions that Active might potentially be one of the new levels introduced in 1.4, with its pulsing data being one of the evidence. What's interesting is that in the 1.5 update, it seemed like Active was still going to be considered to be a new level in the game. And the reason for that is because in the 1.5 version, it has a pulsing data for the same song, but for a different cut. But then after 1.6, Active was removed from the game files, and then 2.0 onwards, any mentions of Active was gone. Active is really interesting because unlike OTA Destruction where it eventually got repurposed into Base After Base, Active, as far as we know, never got repurposed into any other level. So it would have been pretty interesting on what Lawlbit's vision on Active was if it was released back in 1.4 or 1.5. There's kind of actually one more unused level that was used more as a placeholder, as back in 1.0, the last level that was available was Jumper. However, Lawlbit already had plans for the next levels in the future updates, more notably 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. So in place of that, we have this mess of a level that I'm sure wasn't really meant to be anything other than just being a placeholder. Kinda like OTA Destruction in a way. Moving on, besides levels, just like any other games, there are some unused assets that never made it into the game officially. Some of them are actually shown in the teasers for the upcoming update, with one of the most famous examples is this 2x slow portal or -2x speed portal in the 1.7 teaser image. Now, I don't think that there was any intention to make a -2x speed portal, as most likely this was just the beta version of the -1x speed portal. And honestly, if that's the case, then I'm kind of glad that it got changed to the official one. I don't know how to say this, but there's something about the beta design that makes me a bit uncomfortable in a way. Like, why is it so skinny? But besides that, another popular example was the beta design on the teleport portal and the user coins. Do you know what it used to look like? Well, I'll tell you right now. Ugly. Well, okay, I'm only half sincere here, as while I do prefer the user coin asset that we eventually got, I kind of like the blue coin here. I mean, yeah, it's literally just the normal coin, just hue shifted, but like, hey, sometimes a simple color change can make a great design. Replace the star in the middle with a diamond and you got yourself something new. The teleport portals are not it though. Once again, why were they so skinny? My theory is that it's trying to kind of imitate the gravity portals, but the skinny and small look is just not it, I'm sorry. I'm very much glad that it got changed into the official version. Some other notable things that were in the teasers but never got into the full release are some unused block designs shown in the 1.7 and the 1.9 teasers, as well as some slopes in the 1.8 teasers. Some beta designs for the icons, including this one in the 2.0 teaser, where we see the mushroom icon resemble the Mario mushroom more. But it got changed to a more square look so that Geometry Dash wouldn't breach any copyright infringement. Shut up. And oh, that's it for the stuff from the teasers. Well, that's a bit of a bummer. I thought there'd be a bit more, but that doesn't mean I'm done with unused assets here. What about this stuff that wasn't shown in the teasers? Like this little guy right here. What you're seeing right now are some assets that was made for the 1.6 update. Everything seems normal at first, but as you notice, there are 4 little anomalies in there, including 3 unused saw blades, and this little guy right here. I actually kind of dig with these 2 saw blade designs that look like shurikens. I think they will make for some cool saw blade designs when combined with the other saw blades that we have in the game. Don't know what to deal with this saw blade right here though. But if for some reason you do want it in the game, you can easily recreate it with some blocks and spikes and a rotate trigger. Oh yeah, this guy's right here as well. I don't know what the deal with this little creature right here is. It may not seem that out of place now. Well, okay, maybe it still is. But for back then, especially for 1.6, it's an oddly out of place object to be included in the update. Especially with how oddly detailed this little guy is. I actually wonder if Rob was ever planning on putting this guy in one of the official levels. My personal game theory is that it was probably gonna be put somewhere in Clubstep, considering it's the first official demon and it was released in 1.6. Also the fact that Clubstep is filled with the iconic Clubstep monster design, so adding a little skull design in there would probably fit in a bit. But hey, considering how mysterious RobTop is most of the time, we may never know. Another interesting one I have for you is the game sheet for Geometry Dash back when it was called Geometry Jump. The thing that probably caught your eye the most is the early design for the gravity portals. I don't know if it's just because I'm so used to the current gravity portal designs, but I'm really glad that it got changed as it doesn't fit with the style of GD in my opinion. And these look like something off of scratch. The orb designs are pretty interesting here, as there are 3 different designs for them, and I actually kinda dig it. I think this would fit pretty well in a modern level. What's even more interesting is the fact that the pink, blue, and green orb are included there as well, despite the fact that they weren't available back in 1.0. Makes you think if RobTop has ever had a vision of what they were going to be in future updates. Oh yeah, there are also 2 unused icons, but who cares about them, alright guys? And finally, we have some unused designs for the 2.0 monsters. These guys are pretty chill. I like them a lot. We got 2 of the designs that we know got in the official version, but there are 2 other designs that never made it in officially. I kinda get why the witch one was never used, but I think the half circle guys could have actually fit in with the other 2 as the style seems pretty on par with the others. It's a bit of a shame that these 2 never made it in, but they live forever within my heart. I love these guys so much. They look so goofy. But like, they're just little guys. Come on. How can you hate them? Before I talk about the next thing, I do want to give a bit of an honorable mention to this green background trigger. This trigger will give a pretty cool fade in and fade out effect to the level. You may stumble across this in the 2.2 editors in the trigger section, but back in 2.1 and before, this was actually hidden away somewhere in the code, and the only way to access it was to either use Cheat Engine or copy it from a level that already had this trigger in. What's also a bit odd about this trigger is that it didn't just behave like a normal trigger, where after you put it in the editor, if you play it normally, you won't see it physically, but the effects will still occur. But instead, it acted like a normal object you could stand on, and even die to, alongside some start position blocks that were also discovered in the code. But since it eventually did get officially added, I thought I'd just mention it as an honorable mention. And finally, we're gonna take a look at some unused parts in levels. This one's gonna be pretty short, but there are some interesting stuff to see here. For example, the infamous spider section in Dash was originally gonna be a lot more normal than the one used in the final version. I think a specific individual would have liked this change. Cycle's structuring in the bulb part actually originally used ground spikes instead of the default blocks and some small spikes. In one of the many beta versions of Finger Dash, some of the dash orbs were actually replaced with green orbs, but that's most likely a placeholder for the dash orb, as maybe the dash orb hasn't been made yet up until that point. One interesting thing I found though is that in one of the beta versions, the first spider has a -1 speed portal and a 2 speed portal with a jump pad and jump orb, which makes me wonder whether or not Rob Top had something different planned for the first spider, or this is merely a test on the physics for the spider. And finally, but quite possibly least, the mini UFO was originally gonna be normal sized. I honestly thought there was gonna be a bit more to this part. More specifically, I wanted to see if there's anything interesting with jumper, electrodynamics, and hexagon force, since their beta versions did eventually get discovered. But their beta versions are mainly just the normal level with unfinished gameplay, and maybe some minor tweaks compared to the official version. And I think that's all I'm gonna talk about in this video. But what do you guys think of this video? Did you like it? Let me know in the comments below if you do. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, since I'm trying to hit 7K by the end of the year. Oh, and if you want to support me even further, you can commission me at VGen, where you can commission a headshot, half body, full body, a banner, or a thumbnail. I'll also go play the tidal wave or something. I don't know. But that's all I have for you today. I'll see you all later. Bye bye.